You ready? I've been ready. What are we waiting for?
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, one exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals takes it straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Live from the Bill Ford Tough Studio at FedEx Forum, it's the Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South, on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app. Now, here's your host, Gary Parrish.
All right, I'm here. My name is Gary Parrish. I'm speaking to you from the Bill Ford Tough Studio. We're in FedEx Forum, downtown Memphis. Bennett Doyle's right there producing the program. Glad he's with me. Glad you're with me. Hope you're getting through the day best you can. And I hope you're ready for the Las Vegas Summer League because it gets underway in a few hours out west. Biggest matchup of the day. It's coming tonight. Mavs-Lakers. That's Cooper Flagg and Bronny James. We'll talk about it momentarily. First, though, quickly, let me set today's schedule for you. In the next segment, about 20 minutes, I'm going to be joined by Mike Wallace. He's a senior editor, Grind City Media. He's traveling to Las Vegas for Summer League this morning. He is scheduled to land. This is what Bennett told me. He is scheduled to be on the ground right now and expected to join us from the airport in Las Vegas. That Mike Wallace, he's committed to the cause. He's joined us from boats, from airports, from his home, right here at the studio. He's wherever you need to be. Mike Wallace is going to be here in about 20 minutes. Finish talking to him, take a break, come back, do 5 more things you need to know, at which point we're going to discuss 5 previously undiscussed stories. Among them, congrats to Tiger great William Bedford. He's been named to the American Basketball Hall of Fame. I'll tell you what that means. We'll do it in about 40 minutes. Caitlin Clark made her return to the WNBA court last night. It did not go well for her or for her Indiana Fever teammates just a few hours after it was announced that Angel Reese, not Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese is going to be the cover athlete for the WNBA edition of 2K26. It's controversy. We'll spend some time on it in just a bit. Casey Anthony, who was famously accused of killing her daughter, but eventually acquitted of first-degree murder, was spotted in New Hampshire with a new mystery man. That's according to TMZ. Witnesses, there were witnesses, they called the couple flirty, which brings me to this question. As a single man, could you date somebody who most of the world believes murdered a little girl? I'm going to ask Bennett that question. We're going to do that a little later on in the show. Colorado football coach Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, spoke at Big 12 Media Day on Wednesday, but he did not offer any explanation for why he's reportedly been living in Texas for the most part since April because of an undisclosed health condition. I'm going to tell you exactly what he said and all the offense he took to a question. We're going to do that in the second hour. And former NBA player Ben McLemore, a man who appeared in 56 games for your Memphis Grizzlies, was sentenced to 100 months in prison after being convicted of rape yesterday. Ugly story. I'll tell you what Ben McLemore said when he released a statement. We'll do that during a segment we call 5 More Things You Need to Know. Then we'll eventually do GP's carryout and we'll call it a day. So that's the rundown. We got a lot to get to, but I did want to start with the Las Vegas Summer League because the Las Vegas Summer League is going to get underway this afternoon in a little more than 4 hours. Game 1 inside Thomas and Mack. It's going to be set for 2:30 Central. Summer Pelicans against Summer Timberwolves. Tune in if you care. That's going to be the first of 7 games played in Las Vegas today. So 14 teams going to be in action on this Thursday. As you likely know, the Summer Grizz are not one of them, and that's because the Summer Grizz, they won't play in Las Vegas until tomorrow afternoon. That's when they meet the Summer Celtics in a game scheduled to tip at 3 Central right here on the Grind City Media app. Our pregame show going to start at 2:45 tomorrow. I'm going to be in studio with Rob Fisher and Bennett.
In studio.
I know you are. I was getting to you, Bennett.
I'm going to be in studio.
I was getting to you. It's going to be me, Bennett, and Rob Fisher. Mike Wallace going to join us live from Cox Pavilion. Again, that's tomorrow, 2:45 pregame. We'll get you ready for that tomorrow morning. Today, or at least tonight, the story out in Las Vegas, it is the matchup between the Summer Mavericks and the Summer Lakers because it will feature the number 1 overall pick, 2025 NBA draft, and the oldest son of the all-time leading scorer in NBA history. Tonight at 7 o'clock on ESPN, it's Cooper Flagg and Bronny James, and the tickets are expensive. Get-in price, as of this morning, $85. What that means is if you just want to get in the building, I'll take the worst seat you got in here. That's going to cost you $85. The average ticket price, so all the tickets sold, divided by the number. What's the average ticket price for tonight? Mavericks-Lakers, $223. Courtside seats, $3,000 each.
Ooh.
Big bet, Bennett. It's good to see you on this Thursday morning.
Good to see you.
Here's my question for you.
What's going on?
What's the most you've ever paid to attend something? And if you don't want to put a number on it because you're uncomfortable with that, just tell me what is the thing that you paid the most to attend. And second question, even if money weren't really an option to you, how would you feel about paying $6,000 for 2 courtside tickets to watch a basketball game in July, mostly featuring non-NBA players? Because that's what people are doing tonight.
All right. The most I've ever spent on a ticket to something. Man, because I've been very fortunate.
I know you've been fortunate
over my career. You know, I'm a bit of a ticket snob. All those years in radio,
like I know you've been fortunate.
I've gotten the hookup quite a bit over the years.
I know you've been fortunate.
Maybe like something. Maybe like one of the years we went to like Voodoo Fest or something like that. Those tickets were probably pretty pricey. I can't think of like a massive concert that I just shelled out a bunch of money for.
Have you ever paid $1,000 to go to something?
No, absolutely not. No.
I don't think I've ever touched $1,000 per ticket.
I've never come close to that.
I don't think I've touched $1,000 per ticket, but I have come close. I've come close.
Well, because I know you like to sit up. You know me. I'm fine sitting like I'll sit on the roof. I don't care. I'll sit on the roof. You got to be way up. We are very different.
I'm scared of heights.
Yes.
I can't get on the roof. I'm not a roofer.
Yeah.
I can't get on the roof. No, this is my philosophy on everything. And there's nothing. I don't think. Here's what I think. Here's how I feel.
Yep.
If you're happy sitting on the roof, you should sit on the roof. If other people are happy sitting in the upper deck somewhere, do that. I would rather not go than sit far away from something. So if I'm going to go to something, I'm going to spend the money to do it, as I would put it, right. And if I don't think it's worth it or can't justify it, then I just will not go. If I go to a concert, I'm either going to have great seats or I'm not going. If I go to a basketball game, I'm either going to have great seats or I'm not going. And it's my same approach to amusement parks. Exact same approach. And this is advice I give to other people about Disney World, Six Flags, wherever you go, Universal. If you cannot afford to do it right, or you do not think it's worth the money to do it right, and by right, I mean buy all the fast passes and all the advantages you can buy, it's not worth going.
I mean, that's probably the most expensive. Like that counts as a ticket. That's probably the most
Like
expensive.
I just
Disney
cannot.
World. Yeah.
I like. So we went to Six Flags in Atlanta a few weeks ago, right? And took the whole family and had a good time. And it was not busy because it was hot and it was a weekday morning. It was just not busy. And my wife was like, well, do we even need the fast passes? And I said, I don't know. That's my official answer. I'm not sure. But there was no scenario where I'm standing in a line for 45 minutes with these two little fist fighters. All right? So do we need it? I don't know. But if it prevents me from standing in one line for 1 hour with these two, it's worth it.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing. My same approach to anything. If you're going to do it right. Otherwise, I'd just rather sit at home and watch YouTube. So
I get that.
The most expensive things I've ever paid to go to, probably the number one, was that Kendrick Lamar concert.
I bet that was pricey.
It was the opening night of what is the biggest tour of the year, and we decided to get good tickets for that. I wanted to take my sons and take my family, but that was we got up there pretty good. Lady Gaga was expensive because it was a small venue out in Vegas. It was like, not more than 1,500 people or something around that. So it was a very small venue for Lady Gaga. That was Taylor Swift on the Eras tour. That was so. But nothing close to $3,000 for courtside seats. We ain't never done nothing like that.
If we're going exclusively concerts and sporting events, that Titans Bengals playoff game a few years back, that was probably one of the most expensive. And we sat way up top too. It was still expensive.
Yeah, I think Mets Yankees, like at Yankee Stadium, like I paid pretty good for that. Because once you decide, well, if I'm going to Mets Yankees tonight, I'm going to get good tickets. Well, like everybody in New York City wants good tickets for that. And like there's a lot of people in New York City that have a lot of money. So you're going to have to pay for that. But yeah, but nothing like $3,000. I have never even sniffed anything like $3,000. And I would like to think that if I ever were like, it's going to cost $3,000 to go to this thing tonight, that thing would not be a summer league basketball game. Like I wouldn't pay $3,000 to play in the game. if they told me for $3,000 you can get a uniform and be Cooper Flagg's teammate tonight, I'd be like, I don't know. That doesn't seem fun. That doesn't seem worth it. But to each his own.
Yeah.
To each her own.
It's just a massive Cooper Flagg fan, right? It's just a massive Duke fan that wants to go sit in those seats.
Like, in all seriousness, I wouldn't do this, but I do guess it's cool on some level. You know, sometimes I probably said this 50 times in my life. You know, I was at Carmelo Anthony's first ever game at Syracuse and his last ever game at Syracuse. Like, that's something I say whenever Carmelo Anthony comes up because it's true. I was the Memphis beat writer. Syracuse opened that season against Memphis at Madison Square Garden. Shouts to Jeremy Hunt. He led the Tigers to a win over Carmelo Anthony and the eventual national champions. And then, of course, Syracuse wins the title, beats Kansas down in New Orleans. I was there. So anytime Carmelo Anthony comes up, you're going to hear me say stuff like, well, you know, Bennett. And you're going to be like, yes, I know, idiot. You've told me this 50,000 times. Of course I know. But I always say things like that. Like, yeah, I was at, or I'll say things like, well, there was this one night, the Las Vegas Summer League. I mean, no, just like Las Vegas AAU stuff. It was a crazy night. But that's the night it was LaMelo Ball and Zion Williamson. Like, I was there for that. And I've told that story. So, like, if nothing else, you get that story.
You get the story, yeah.
I was at Cooper Flagg's first Summer League game. I was at the first time Cooper Flagg wore a Mavericks jersey in a competition. I was at the game. It was the first game since Cooper Flagg left Duke. Remember, he lost in the Final Four. They blew that big lead to Houston. And then he was drafted number 1, obviously. And then, like, the next time he ever played in a basketball game, I was there sitting courtside. I guess you get that. Maybe that's worth it to somebody. But, $3,000 for Summer League basketball.
Couldn't be me.
It couldn't be me. So, surprisingly, or at least it was surprising to me, this is not the most expensive Summer League tickets we've ever seen. Just a few years ago, Victor Wembanyama. Average ticket price for his first game in Las Vegas Summer League was $297. Again, average ticket price tonight for Mavericks Lakers, Bronny Cooper Flagg, is $223. So Wemby was a bigger draw.
I'm surprised by that.
That did surprise me. Maybe that didn't surprise everybody, but that surprised me. Either way, that'll be the biggest story in sport. Tonight in the A block of SportsCenter, I imagine it's going to be Cooper Flagg and Bronny James.
Yes.
Like Shohei Ohtani
that's why they're putting this game in prime time, so they can lead SportsCenter with it. You're right.
Go bleed right into SportsCenter.
Yep.
They'll probably have Cooper Flag, on a headset right after the game.
Yep.
Shohei Ohtani could hit 3 home runs tonight, and he's probably going to have to be the secondary story to whatever happens with Cooper Flag and Bronny James. Whether it should be treated this way or not, it will be treated like a big deal, and it'll be in millions of homes throughout America tonight. And one of the storylines, and I heard Jess and CJ talking about this earlier, is LeBron James there because Bronny's playing? And if he's there, how does he conduct himself? Is he sitting with Lakers people? Because there's seemingly a real fracture in that right now.
Did you see the DeAndre Ayton thing yesterday?
That's the thing.
Yeah.
So that's just the latest bit of this.
Yeah.
Like there's all these little things that independent of anything else, you're like, who cares?
Mm-hmm.
Like, but when you add them all up and you put them in the same story, it's like, what is going on here?
Mm-hmm.
And so the one was LeBron opts into his $50+ million player option and then gets Clutch, his representation, to release a statement that is the most passive-aggressive statement you've ever read.
No kidding.
It's like, LeBron's thrilled about continuing with the Lakers, even though he knows, I'm paraphrasing, but like they're focused on the future. And even though his goal is to win a championship, and it doesn't appear their goal is to win a championship with LeBron James, he's still happy to be a Laker, be in business with the Lakers.
Yep.
It was like, what is that, right? Then he pops up on social media. He's like working out at the Cavs facility.
Right.
And then acts like he's surprised that people take note of this, which is just like weird. And I love our king. But that's just weird behavior. He's a smart guy. He knows when it starts circulating. Of
course.
There's a picture of him at the Cavs facility. He knows what people are going to do. And then he jumps on social media and is like, what are y'all doing? What are y'all doing? You know what people are going to do if you're photographed at the Cavs facility. Whether it's sensible or not, you know what people are going to do. So why are you acting like you're surprised by what people are doing? So then there's that. Then there's the fact, I guess, Brian Windhorst pointed this out on radio in Cleveland. He's like, LeBron opted in. Like when other players opt into contracts, it is immediately announced or very quickly or as soon as it can be announced by the team. And then there's a quote from a general manager like, we've done great things with this player and we look forward to the future. And there's just none of that with LeBron and this Lakers opt-in. The Lakers have not acknowledged it in any way whatsoever. And so it's just like passive-aggressive stuff back and forth. And then the latest, the DeAndre Ayton thing that you mentioned, DeAndre Ayton met with the media and was asked about, becoming a member of the Lakers. He's a former number 1 overall pick. Mm-hmm. And he was like, got a text from Luka. Luka's ripped. He said Luka's ripped. That's interesting because that's certainly not the way people have described Luka previously. Most famously, Nico Harrison.
Right.
He said, Luka's ripped. And I got a text from him and like looking forward to being teammates and woohoo. And then somebody like the natural follow-up is like, so how'd the conversation with LeBron go? He's like, I hadn't heard from LeBron. So it's like, he is clocked out of this thing. He's mad. He's in his feelings a little bit.
There's too many
little things.
Yeah, there's too many little things.
And yet I can sit here, I can hold both of these opinions. It's passive-aggressive nonsense that I don't like in my own life. Like, I don't like people being passive-aggressive with me. I try not to be passive-aggressive with other people. Like, if you got something to say, let's say it.
Yep.
But, like, stop with all the little... I don't like it.
Yeah, I got it.
This is the kind of stuff, if I were the Lakers or I were LeBron, if I were on either side of this, I'd pick up the phone and be like, yo, what's going on? Let's figure this out. Let's talk through this right now and get this figured out because I don't like this part of it. So I think it's all silly and should be beneath everybody. It's just not a good way to be doing business. It's a very high-profile thing. Most famous basketball player in the world, probably most famous basketball franchise in the world, and they're being passive-aggressive in a very public way. I'd cut all that out. That said, I can hold this opinion too. I get why LeBron's feelings are hurt. Even if I were talking to him, I'd be like, you got to get over this and stop acting this way. But I understand it because do you know what it must be like? And this is just me projecting because I've never really been the center of anybody's attention. But you know what it must be like when, for more than 20 years now, everything's been about him. Like, what do you want us to do? Where do you want to live? Do you want your son on the team? Okay, we'll do that. Like, who do you want to trade? Who do you want to bring in? How much money do you want to make? Like, when do you want the plane to leave? When do you want the plane to land? Everything for 20 plus years, dating back to when he was a teenager,
right,
has been all about him. Every other high school player, basically in the history of grassroots basketball, at some point is made to pick. Are you going to do the Nike events or the Adidas events or the Under Armour events? Are you a Nike kid or an Adidas kid or an Under Armour kid? LeBron, famously, just did whatever he wanted. He'd go to Adidas one week, go to Nike the another week. Since he was a high school player, every single thing has been completely about him. And for the first time in 20 plus years, he is realizing that it's not about you anymore. We're not trying to maximize the end of your career. We have Luka Doncic now. A year ago, we didn't think this was even possible. But now that is our emphasis now. We are building around him for the future, not you for now. And that's why people continue to think, we talked to Vernon about it yesterday, that at some point he will say, you got to get me out.
You got to get me out. Because I think, too, like when you make the Luka trade during the middle of the season last year, it's like, okay, our roster clearly has issues, but like, wait till next season. Like, we just went and got Luka. We got two of the best players in the world. Like, we'll take that leap literally next season, and they do nothing in the offseason to make them. I mean, frankly, they didn't do anything to make themselves better this season.
They've made some moves, but they've lost important pieces too.
Losing DFS was big for them. He's one of their best defenders, if not their best.
So, it is possible that there's literally nothing the Lakers could do to put them in championship contention right now, as long as Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is healthy.
Sure.
All right. That's the bar that's the ceiling you can't crash through. Those guys being healthy. So it's possible there's nothing they could do to actually get them where LeBron wants to be. But the issue here is that for maybe not the first time, but in the most obvious way, they're not trying to maximize now. It is not the priority.
It's not. You can tell.
Now is not the priority. They would like to win another championship in Los Angeles someday, but they are not doing everything they can do to try to do it before LeBron James calls it a career. And that is the root cause of everything else you're watching unfold right now. That's the root of everything. I thought this would be about me until I wasn't here anymore, because every season of basketball I've ever played dating back to high school has been about me. And they're like, yeah, but we got Luke at the trade deadline, so we have to set our sights on different things and adjust in real time, and that is what we've done. So, again, that'll be among the stories tonight. And it doesn't matter what happens. You ready for this? He can walk in, sit right next to Rob Pelinka. That'll be a story. He can walk in, sit opposite the Lakers front office. That'll be a story. He can walk in and be as cool as you could be. That'll be a story. He could not show up. That'll be a story. Whatever he does, it'll be a story. Whatever it does, they'll be talking about it on ESPN tomorrow morning. And by talking, I mean arguing and yelling and stuff.
And that's why this is the game instead of Dallas versus the Spurs and Dylan Harper.
100%.
That's why this is the game.
Because that's what they normally do.
It's 1 versus 2.
It's 1 versus 2.
Yep.
That's what they usually try to do, or often try to do. Not here. What can we do? It's Cooper Flag. We got to do that. Opening night, Las Vegas Summer League in prime time. Got to have Cooper Flag, obviously. What's the best thing we can put against him? Bronny and the Lakers, because it's Bronny, because it's the Lakers, and because LeBron may or may not be there. And either way, we got something people will turn on the TV tonight. You know, people during football season turn on the TV sometimes, literally just to see if Taylor Swift is there, right? Is Taylor Swift at the game? That's a thing that happens in football now. Wonder if Taylor Swift's going to be there. Let me turn it on and see. Cut the camera to her real quick. She's here. There she is walking in. That's what will happen tonight on some level. People will turn on their television to see if LeBron James is there and what he does while he's there. It's a crazy world we live in.
Crazy world, man.
Mike Wallace will join us next.
Murray State is going to the College World Series. It's easy for me to pick a team because 1, I love an underdog. 2, I hate UCLA, and I see that opening round matchup. And 3, we are connected to the school's most famous alumni. Ja Morant of Murray State.
Tune in to the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt live every weekday at 8 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Are you ready?
Creed. By overwhelming demand, the Summer of '99 tour returns. July 27th, FedEx Forum. With very special guest, Daughtry. And Mammoth. Tickets on sale now at LiveNation.com. Don't miss Creed with Daughtry and Mammoth. The Summer of '99 tour.
1, 2, 3. Ready, go.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum, Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at LiveNation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit Shinedown.com.
These are the Jordan 1, the crystals. These are the shoe that retails for $1,000. Oh, extra crystals. So if your crystals fall off, if your crystals fall off, actually these are the black crystals because they have. So the shoe has black crystals on there as well too. So you get an extra package of black crystals.
The Sneak Fest Show, live Tuesdays at 2 p.m. on Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. I'm inside the Built Ford Tough Studio, FedEx Forum, downtown Memphis, and I'm joined right now by senior editor, Grind City Media. It's the great Mike Wallace, live from Harry Reid International Airport, it looks like. Mike Wallace, how are you?
I'm doing well, man. Good to be here. Just landed touchdown in Las Vegas, and I can tell you this much. LeBron James didn't just get off the rental car shuttle with me. So he's going to get another bit of transportation for tonight's game if he's going to get here. But, yeah, man, it's exciting to be here.
Are you
This might
always?
be the earliest I've ever arrived in Las Vegas.
Oh, God! I just realized it's 8:27 out there. That is an early. What time did you depart Memphis? 6? Like, so was it the 6 a.m.?
It was a 6:15 flight. Yeah, it was a 6:15 flight, man. And 3 hours flight, but you're going 2 hours in terms of time zone. So it ended up being a 1 hour difference. Took off at 6:15 and landed at 7:45 or whatever it was here when we landed. It's all good.
Are you a rental guy car every time? I am anti-rental car at this point in my life. I never get them anymore. I'll just Uber everywhere I go. I don't ever want to get a rental car, but you still stick with rentals.
I stick with rentals here in Vegas. I don't rent in New York City. I do rent in Vegas just because, man, you can sweat profusely, if I said that word correctly, just waiting on an Uber in Las Vegas, man. Like, you can lose 10 pounds just waiting outside in 200-degree temperature. So I got an Uber and, parked with our hotel stay, team hotel. So it's all good. I figured I'd do that. And sometimes you just want to get away from the strip.
That's right.
That sounds crazy, but sometimes you just want to get away from the strip and see something other than that, man, every single day.
I get that, and it is interesting for people who's never been to Las Vegas, like Bennett. He's never going to go. When you walk out of that airport, when that heat hits you for the first time in Las Vegas, it's the first time you're actually experiencing outside in Las Vegas. It is like you're stepping into an oven. It feels different.
It does. It does. Somebody said yesterday, it feels like somebody just turned on the highest extreme of a hair blow dryer, stuck it in your face when you walk out.
That's exactly right.
That's exactly what it feels like, man. It feels like you just stepped out of a hot shower and jumped right in front of a blow dryer. That's turned to hell on the extreme temperature, man.
That's exactly right. I'm talking to Mike Wallace.
You and I don't know much about hair blow dryer.
No, I haven't.
We don't have that problem.
I think there's one in my bathroom somewhere, but I ain't used it in a while. Talking to Mike Wallace, he's at Harry Reid International Airport, formerly known as McCarran. Tonight is the main attraction of Las Vegas Summer League, at least until we get to the championship game, and even probably including that, this is a big deal relative to summer basketball stuff. 7 o'clock Central primetime, Mavericks Lakers. It's obviously Cooper Flagg against Bronny James. Average ticket price $223. Get-in price $85. Courtside seats going for $3,000. You've been around this sport for a long time. How did the NBA and or ESPN turn Las Vegas Summer League into something that people actually talk about, care about, and will spend real money to attend?
Man, that's a great question. I've seen every iteration of Summer League. I remember covering it when it started off in Orlando, and only a handful of teams were there. And then you saw it crop up in other places, over the course of the years. But I think the NBA struck it right because they put it in Las Vegas where all 30 teams are pretty much required to be here. It's part of the television package now. The ESPN and all of these other places are broadcasting from. And then they conduct league business here. And it comes right on the heels of free agency. A lot of the players that change teams are here because this is their introductory press conference area. So they make it like a convention. And there's no better convention city in the United States than Las Vegas. And now that you have the venues that are going to be coming in, at some point, this is going to move from Thomas and Mack and have to go into a regular NBA type arena. And I think it will transition to that. But, yeah, that's exactly how you get to what we see today. The first-round picks, the top picks in the draft versus the biggest storylines, as you guys were talking about. And you just build it off of there. But I guarantee you one thing. By day 3 or 4, it's going to get mundane and people are going to move on to other things. But there's still a lot more to go on here in Las Vegas.
We'll talk Grizzlies in a moment because they open Las Vegas Summer League tomorrow afternoon, 3 o'clock Central, 2:45 pregame on the Grind City Media app. It'll be me, Bennett, Rob Fisher in studio. You'll join us live from Cox Pavilion. Let's focus on tonight because, all the attention is on Cooper Flagg, and Bronny James can be a central figure in this television show we're going to watch tonight. But part of it will be LeBron. Is he there? Is he not there? If he's there, where does he sit? Who does he talk to? Because that relationship between he and the Lakers right now does seem fractured on some level. The latest little bitty headline is DeAndre Ayton mentioned since agreeing to join the Lakers, he has heard from Luka Doncic, but has not heard a single thing from LeBron James. What do you make of what's going on right now between LeBron and the Lakers? And are we still convinced he actually finishes his career there?
I think so, man. LeBron put together so many different things and aspects of his life on and off the floor, but this to sort of be the swan song. He didn't set it up to have Bronny get here and then abandon him from that standpoint, because the last thing he wants to see and his brand wants to see is the Lakers say, oh, okay, you're leaving, we're trading you, you're requesting a trade, or we're going to release Bronny. Okay. And who's going to sign him at that point? Is that going to be a condition of whatever team he goes to from there? That's another headache from that standpoint. LeBron James does this. His off-season business is his off-season business. I've seen him do it every year, I guess 20 years now. For the first time, what's different, though, is that the evolution of him being the epicenter of everything is sort of shifted. I'm not going to say it's completely shifted to Luka, because LeBron will run and command attention in a way that Luka never will, regardless of where they are in their stages of their career. Make no mistake, the Lakers still have to get Luka signed to an extension as well, too. If I'm not mistaken, if I missed that, then I must have been off the planet somewhere. But they still have to make sure that Luka wants to be in Los Angeles. And you can do both things. You can maximize your future around Luka because he's very much a win-now player, and also maximize what LeBron James has left in his career. So this is posturing. I've seen LeBron do it. I've seen Maverick Carter do it before Rich Paul got his wings under him, and now Rich Paul is kind of orchestrating it. Above anything else, and I'll leave it at this, above anything else, this is LeBron James signaling to the new Lakers ownership that, hey, I'm still the guy that matters here. I'm still the guy filling out all of these seats. I'm still the legacy player that people are largely coming to see. So let me just make sure you realize that when you make this purchase and this transaction about a team. Genie is still technically running it, but LeBron is sending a signal to the ownership that you still have to maximize what you can.
Let's talk Grizzlies. They went 1-2 in the Salt Lake Summer League in Salt Lake City. lost the last 2 games by a point, but in part with limited roster. The number 11 pick in the draft, Cedric Coward, did not play. Still recovering on some level from that shoulder surgery. Javon Small only played the first game, set out the next 2. Obviously, everybody set out the last game there. Just what did you make, broadly speaking, of what you saw from the Grizzlies in Salt Lake City?
I saw some things that, wanted to see, especially with guys like Jalen Wells playing. You wanted to see, okay, the reason why he's going to play Summer League is to get himself comfortable again, to get back out in a situation where he feels like, his body can respond to this kind of up and down pace. And so he checked off that box. I thought we saw some very encouraging things from Gigi. He scored 47 points in 2 games, didn't have an assist at all. It's kind of hard to do that. I would like to standpoint. But overall, it was about the sort of vets taking a step forward in their development. It was about Coach Tuoma Isolo establishing and installing, what his system is going to be to some of the younger end guys that he's going to be working with. And thirdly, what will we see from the rookie class? We know Cedric Coward wasn't with the team in Salt Lake City. He's probably not going to be in Vegas as far as I'm understanding right now. He is wrapping up the final stages of this rehab with his shoulder surgery that limited him to 6 games that he injured at Washington State back in November. But everything is trending towards obviously him being ready for training. There's really no reason for the Grizzlies to rush that timetable just to get him on the court right now. So other than that, you just play this out. I don't know how much more you will see of Jalen Wells, G.G. Jackson, and Spencer, but you almost have to if you're going to be missing some of these other guys like Zachy, Cedric Coward, and maybe a couple of others.
I agree completely that there's very little to gain and a lot to risk by having Cedric Coward play either in Salt Lake City or Las Vegas. So I'm completely on board with set him out, if only because that ensures I don't have to get a headline that says Cedric Coward was injured in Las Vegas Summer League. I don't think the fan base can deal with that right now, given everything else they've had to deal with, from Zach Edey to Jaren Jackson Jr. to John Morant in the playoffs last season. That headline, Cedric Coward injured in Summer League, would just deflate everything. Let's prevent that. Set him out. Fine. I am less understanding, or at least it struck me as, that's interesting, that he did not go with the team to Salt Lake City and isn't expected to be with the team in Las Vegas, because I think there's an argument to be made that even if you aren't playing, I'd like for you to be around your coaching staff. I'd like for you to be around some of your teammates. I'd like for you to just get comfortable wearing Grizzlies stuff and being around Grizzlies people. Do we know if there's an explanation for why he's not with the team?
Well, I think the explanation that I heard was that, the Grizzlies can maximize and control the environment, and they have all of their doctors, they have all of their therapists and everything. They're structurally set up to give him the best treatment in his rehab and recovery in Memphis than they would be in Salt Lake City, where they weren't even playing they weren't even at the Delta Center. So They didn't even have the NBA facilities there. They had, college Utah's facilities there. And then in Las Vegas, you're scrambling around trying to find high school gyms to do things that they don't always have the equipment. It's a lot. From what I understand, and again, this is just, my indication, is that the focus needs to be 100% on him. First, they had to get him signed. He didn't sign his contract until midway through Summer League in Salt Lake City, so he remained back for that. But also to get the best treatment possibilities and conditioning. A couple of their staffers, the key staffers, also stayed back. The Grizzlies, complete regimen of trainers and sports scientists didn't go to Salt Lake City. So they stayed back with Cedric in Memphis, from what I understand. So they're really prioritizing getting him over this hump. But you're right. He could still do a lot of this stuff, some of the conditioning. He could do that on the road with the team. And I'm not completely ruling out that he won't make it to Vegas at some point. But I just knew that obviously he wasn't in Salt Lake City. And the reason that I heard was because he was focusing on the contract getting signed and the initial stages of the final steps of his rehab taking place in Memphis, and he will see where it goes from there. But there are questions around it. And frankly, the Grizzlies have to understand that, they don't always have the benefit of the doubt when it comes to convincing fans and media and everybody else that everything is clearly on the up and up when you have so many players get injured without being seen, and so many guys in different places. There's some public relations that have to happen when it comes to this. But everything I hear is that, this guy's trending towards being absolutely ready. He could do some things now if it was really pushed, but you don't want to mess around with the shoulder because we saw Ja go through the whole season after shoulder surgery, having some issues with that same shoulder throughout the regular season.
Well, that's why I asked the question, because that was a totally reasonable answer. The most important thing isn't for him to get comfortable with coaches and teammates right now. It is for him to continue to get his shoulder to a place where it needs to be, and you're better equipped to do that in Memphis than you are on the road. Reasonable answer. I accept it. Jahmai Mashack got a lot of attention. Missed the first game in Salt Lake City, played the next two, had an interesting stat line in game 2. That was the 10 fouls, 9 assists game. And then in game 3 in Salt Lake City, he was 3 of 4 from 3. He had a few steals. He's been interesting to watch. He is a role player in college who projects as a role player in the NBA. And I know we don't have a lot of these. You average 6 points a game in college, and now you're on maybe competing for an NBA spot. But Alex Caruso is not too different from this. Alex Caruso never averaged double figures in points in college and was nothing but a role player, and has turned himself into one of the better role players in the NBA by just doing the things that he can do and do well. And there's, I think, some hope around here that Mashack can maybe not be something similar to Caruso, but be the classic role player who becomes a role player, and he didn't need to average 17 points in college because you were never going to ask him to do those things in the NBA. What did you make of what you saw from him?
Yeah, I mean, he was literally all over the place.
Yeah.
Right? Literally all over the place. And I say that in a good way because he seemed to be in every single play that was made. Every single 50-50 ball, he was right in the middle of it. He was running down guys from full court to get steals. He was diving on the floor. He was just in every play. And I think what I didn't expect was for him to be sort of the ball handler, facilitator, and playmaker that he is. I didn't see a lot of Tennessee basketball. I'm just getting pretty much introduced to Mashack now. But what I'm seeing is a guy that has defensive instincts that are uncanny, right? For even the elite college basketball players. He has defensive instincts that are he knows where the ball is. He has a nose for the ball. He times it so perfectly to put himself in position. Now, having said that, the foul situation, he's going to have to stop playing as reckless and risky if he wants to stay on the floor to continue to get these developmental opportunities. I think he can make that kind of adjustment. But a lot of people say, hey, I know he talked about Tony Allen and, watching Tony Allen. I think that's a great player to watch. You mentioned Caruso. To me, the guy he reminds me most of when I see sort of his ball handling, his ball skills and his knack for being around, he reminds me a little bit of a Patrick Beverley in terms of how he stalks everything. And he's always in the play. He can get under your skin. He fouls you hard and then act like he didn't do it, those kind of things. So, he's going to be an exciting player to watch develop. And we'll see if this offense comes around to get him to a point where he's not a liability offensively on the floor, but defensively, his instincts are impressive.
Wrapping up here with Mike Wallace live from Las Vegas in advance of Las Vegas Summer League, which starts in a few hours. Grizzlies open Las Vegas Summer League tomorrow afternoon against the Celtics. I apologize if you haven't seen it because I know you've been traveling this morning, but the groups for the NBA Cup have been announced, and the Grizzlies are in a group with the Lakers, the Clippers, the Mavericks, and the Pelicans. I don't know what to even make of that. We haven't had great NBA Cup success in this market. But when you look at the groups, can you envision this is the year where maybe we break through and get to, get out of the group stage of the NBA Cup for the first time in franchise history?
We're playing the Pelicans 3 times, and probably so. Right? But we haven't had a lot of success against the other teams that are in that group right there. I mean, the Clippers and the Lakers have had our number in the regular season, particularly. And then Dallas, who knows when, obviously we won't play. We won't face Kyrie Irving when those games are played in October. But Dallas could be intriguing in terms of that. So it's tough, man. The 2 LA teams have been teams that, for whatever reason, physically have had the Grizzlies number. I hope so. I do think that Group C is the most dangerous group. And maybe you can sneak in with a wild card, but you're going to have to unseat one of the LA teams in order to put yourself in a position to get there.
That is Mike Wallace live from Las Vegas. He will be on the inside Cox Pavilion tomorrow for Grizzlies Celtics. He'll join us pre, post, and half. Pre-game show starts 2:45 Central. My man, I appreciate you. I know it's rough to get up that early, get on a plane, land. honestly, if I'd have known 2 hours ago you were going to be at the airport, I would have said, don't ask him to do that.
I volunteered, man. I raised my hand to do it, man. Bennett knows that I'm all about this. And I know Bennett is kind of shaking his head because you just described another set of first world problems. You know what I mean? I got on the I had select class. I got my bag off first and, shuttled over here, and I'm about to go on the strip in a 5-star hotel. Right?
Hey, everything from this point forward is going to be great for you, I imagine. But I just wanted to make note that you're doing extra work for me, and I appreciate it. Thank you, buddy. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Anytime, guys. Take care now.
All right. That's Mike Wallace live from Las Vegas in advance of Las Vegas Summer League. Again, it starts 2:30 Central today. Grizzlies open Las Vegas Summer League tomorrow, 3 o'clock against the Summer Celtics. When we come back, turn our attention to a neat little headline I saw yesterday. Former Memphis basketball great William Bedford is going into the American Basketball Hall of Fame. I wasn't sure what that was when I first heard it, but I've, I got Google, so I did the Google searches. We'll reminisce about William Bedford and congratulate him on his Hall of Fame induction. We'll do that next. Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South.
It's time for our Pick Six, Mike. 6 classics that we're most looking forward to in the 2025 football season.
Las Vegas, obviously, that's the Grambling State University, Jackson State University clash. They're taking 2 iconic HBCU brands going to an NFL stadium in Las Vegas.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Have you always dreamed of entertaining on the biggest stage in Memphis? The Claw Crew is looking for members to join their team for the 2025-2026 season. Claw Crew members are hardworking, high-energy entertainers who assist Grizzlies home games by hyping up the crowd and much more. Not only do they support the Grizzlies at home games, but also promote in Memphis and across the Mid-South. Open auditions are Saturday, August 9th at FedEx Forum. Visit grizzlies.com/auditions for more information and to register today.
The First Ladies of FedEx Forum, the Grizz Girls, are known across the NBA for setting the standard for professional dance and entertainment, and they are looking for dancers to join their team for the 2025-2026 season. With the chance to gain professional dance experience, collaborate with national and local artists, and connect with the Memphis community, auditioning for the Grizz Girls is an opportunity you do not want to miss. Come show up and show out at Open Call Auditions. Visit grizzlies.com/auditions now for more information.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans, 1 exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals takes it straight to you during the Grizzlies 2024-2025 season. Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Catch us if you can at Southland Casino Hotel and win your share of up to $1.8 million in free play and prizes. Join us for drawings every Saturday in May, June, and July. Each month, over 900 winners will take home free play or drive off in a new car or motorcycle. Be there for all 6 grand finale drawings and try to catch us if you can, only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 up. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Orthopedic injuries can be unpredictable, unforeseen, and unscheduled, and Ortho South understands this better than anyone. Since your injuries don't make appointments, you don't need to either. And that's because Ortho South welcomes walk-ins during the weekdays in the evenings and even on Saturdays. So next time an unforeseen injury makes an unscheduled appearance in your life, visit orthosouth.org to find your nearest urgent care location. Just walk in, and Ortho South will take care of everything, especially you. Learn more at orthosouth.org. That's OrthoSouth at orthosouth.org. Now, I got 5 more things you need to know.
Number 1.
Congratulations to Tiger basketball great William Bedford. He has been inducted into the American Basketball Hall of Fame. Bennett, did you know there was an American Basketball Hall of Fame? Not to be confused with the Naismith Memorial Hall of Fame.
I did not.
Two different things. You know what? I didn't either. I don't even say that as a joke. I'm just unaware. But it's in Detroit, and they launched, I believe, in 2019. and have made it a priority to celebrate awesome basketball players from all walks of life of the sport. So this is a basketball Hall of Fame that isn't just going to have, Michael Jordan and Greg Popovich in it and people like that, but it will have, famous street hoopers, people who are just like high school basketball legends. Just like if you ever mattered in the sport of basketball in any sort of way, you might have a chance to get into the American Basketball Hall of Fame in Detroit someday. Awesome. And William Bedford, Tiger basketball great, has been announced as among the newest members. He's a part of the 2025 induction class and, released a statement through the University of Memphis about how honored and pleased he was to get to experience this. And so I guess as I was thinking through it, my first thought was, I didn't even know this was a thing, this Hall of Fame. Hand to heart, when I read the headline, William Bedford is being inducted into the American Basketball Hall of Fame, you know what I thought? Is this like some weird American Athletic Conference Hall of Fame thing? Because Memphis is now in the AAC. And so you have a conference Hall of Fame, and anybody who ever played at a school that's in your conference, you can make them a part of that if you want to. And it feels weird because William Bedford played in the Metro, not the AAC. But is that what this is? And it turns out, no, that's not. But that's how off the radar this thing was for me. I didn't even know that this existed. And so that was my initial thought, like, what is this? And then it was like, it makes William Bedford happy. I don't care. I like William Bedford being happy because he has had a roller coaster of a life a little bit. You're too young for William Bedford. You don't know nothing about William Bedford, do you?
Oh, I met him multiple times.
You have met William Bedford multiple times?
Yeah, met him at the radio station.
Where do you meet William Bedford came into the radio station?
Yeah.
What was William Bedford doing at the radio station?
He came on Jason and John multiple times. He's a nice guy. I really enjoyed talking to him.
So for people who might be too young, he was, a big figure in the glory days of what was Memphis State basketball in the mid-'80s. Like, when I fell in love with Tiger basketball, it was Keith Lee, Andre Turner, William Bedford. These were the names. I don't go back to 73. I might look like I could, but I don't. All right? Larry Finch, Ronnie Robinson, that's all. Larry Keenan, that's before me. But when I became aware that Tiger basketball mattered and was going to be something I cared about for the rest of my life, I'm not exaggerating when I tell you among the reasons I attended the University of Memphis is because I grew up caring about Tiger basketball. Like, that played a role in my decision-making process. I don't want to imply like I was turning down Harvard.
I got you.
I was very limited in where I was going out of high school. But, I had options, I guess. But here's the thing, didn't really even look at anything else. I was just like, I'm going to go to the University of Memphis. That's my school. I considered it my school.
Same with me.
I considered it my school, even though, it wasn't. It was just a basketball program that I grew up caring about.
Same exact reason. I literally went there because I loved the teams.
Now, I had other, totally ridiculous ideas, plans in my head. This was actually, if you asked me when I was 20 years old, so what's your plan? I swear to God, this is what I would have told you. So if I'm at the University of Memphis and I'm working at the campus newspaper and I'm in the journalism department, I'm going to be at these same sporting events as all the people who work at the Commercial Appeal, all the people that work at News Channel 3, all the people that work at ABC 24, whatever. And I'm just going to be around these people. And they're going to see how talented I am, that by the time I get out of college, they're going to want to hire me. I just got to get in those circles, get in those rooms, and I'll show them. And they'll just all be lining up to hire me. That is not actually how it happened, but that was my plan. It's totally naive. I would never give that advice to a college student. You're picking your college based on the idea that you think you might be in a press conference with certain people who might hire you someday? That's bananas. But that was my plan. And it didn't go the way I thought it would go, the way I envisioned it. Like the idea that they'll just be lining up to hire me, because do you know what my first humbling moment was? Real humbling moment while I was in college chasing this journalism career. I did get to the University of Memphis, break some stories and start getting attention and start writing for the Memphis Flyer, start writing for the Commercial Appeal. I was doing all these things that I thought I was going to do. It was actually working up until a point. And then after my junior year of college, I applied for all these internships. New York Times, LA Times. And I was so mixed up in my head. I can remember having serious conversations or whatever conversations with my roommates and being like, all right, New York or LA, on one hand, it's like the New York Times. How could I turn that down? But like summer in LA, woo, that sounds amazing. So what would you guys do? That's what I thought. So I sent out all these resumes and like I apply for all these internships. Let's say 20. Of the 20 I applied for, I would say like 15 didn't even respond to me. Among them, the New York Times and LA Times. Like nothing. Damn. All right, nothing. I got maybe 4 form letters back. Thank you for your interest. Good luck next time. All right. I got one offer. It was from the Birmingham Post-Herald. It's a newspaper that doesn't even exist anymore. All right. But the commercial appeal, these people that I had been working with, I knew everybody. I applied for the summer internship and did not even get nothing. Like not even like nobody ever even acknowledged that I did it. Like they brought in another intern. All right. And I just like would meet the people. So I was like, oh my God, what is going on? And then ultimately, long story not so long, I did get the internship the next year. And then there was a physical altercation between a reporter and a sports editor. And they had to move on from that person. And I was just sitting right there. And that's how I got my first job at the Commercial Appeal. But my plan was so naive. But it was tied in part to, like, the root of it goes back to, I promise you I can tie all this together, the mid-'80s. I grew up caring about the university, or at least caring about the basketball program, and I always thought that's where I'll go to school. I'll be in the student section. Now, I was never really in the student section because I was covering the games. But like that was, you ready for this? I was in the student section when I was in high school. I would buy tickets to go to the Pyramid and see Penny Hardaway play. So I grew up on this stuff, and that man's the beginning of it, or at least part of it. He was on the 85 Final Four team. Just run down this roster. Like, I know all these names.
Yeah.
I will never forget these names.
Good.
Keith Lee, William Bedford, Andre Turner, Baskerville Holmes, Vincent Askew, Willie Beckton, Dwight Boyd, John Wilfong, Dwayne Bailey, Ricky McCoy. I don't remember people I went to high school with. I remember every one of them dudes. And Bedford was like among the biggest pieces of it. I think Keith Lee was the star, obviously. And Andre Turner was the one I attached to most because my name is Gary Turner Parrish. When I played basketball when I was a kid, I called myself Andre Turner Parrish. But like William Bedford was a big part of it. 7-foot center. He's a 6th pick in the draft.
Clippers, right? Was it Clippers?
6th pick in the draft by the Phoenix Suns.
But he played for the Clippers at some point.
Well.
Am I wrong?
You are wrong.
Oh.
He played for the Suns. Then he played for the Pistons. Played for the Spurs. And then that was the end of his NBA career. But, and I didn't remember this, he's an NBA champion. He won a title with the Pistons. He's an NBA champion. And I think most people know his basketball career was derailed in part by substance abuse. He battled with, the type of things people battle with. And that robbed him of what could have been an amazing career based on nothing more than the natural talent that he brought to a basketball court. Like, he played at Melrose and then went to Memphis and was a star and was the 6th pick in the draft. Think about that, the 6th pick in the 1986 NBA draft. And then the career just went sideways. Like so many, and the life, not just career, the life went sideways. Like so many people from that 85 Tigers team. There's great stories in there, and then there's like just tragic stories in there. The great stories, like Andre Turner's a great story. Like, he's one of our great Memphians. Dwight Boyd's a great story. John Wilfong, like, who's made a better life in coming out of that basketball program and building something outside of basketball in this city than John Wilfong. Like, so there's some great stories, but then there's the Baskerville Holmes story. I mean, Google that one if you want to. That's rough. And William Bedford had real rough stuff in his life as well. But at some point, my understanding is that he has found himself on the right track and found redemption and has lived a life that maybe once upon a time you didn't know if he would ever be able to live. I mean, this is a man who's faced some serious charges in his life and, has spent time in prison. And frankly, I hadn't even thought of his name in a while. But when that popped up yesterday, it just brought back all of these memories. Like my introduction to Tiger basketball, which by extension is my introduction to college basketball. Like this is my career. And it starts with me just going, I love this team. I love the school. And among the reasons is that player, William Bedford. Man, him and Keith Lee in that front court. Buddy, how's anybody going to deal with that? And I really did think, at the age of 8 or whatever. So what did I know? But I really did think like that was the team that was going to win a national championship, going to the 1985 Final Four with 3 Big East schools. And then they were upset by Villanova, and then Villanova upset Georgetown. But that will forever be my introduction to the sport that now in some ways gives me the life that I have. And William Bedford was he was a character in that. And so congrats to him, like sincerely. That's all I needed to see to know that this is worthwhile. A quote from him saying he's happy and he's honored and it makes him proud. That's good enough for me. I want William Bedford to be happy and proud. And so congrats to him and all of his family as well.
Number 2.
Caitlin Clark made her return to the Indiana Fever last night. And it did not go well, Bennett. Oh, buddy. They got beat down by Golden
blasted,
State, 80-61. And Caitlin, she was 4 of 12 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3, only 10 points. Little rusty. Hey, what would you expect? Little rusty. She's been away from the game for a minute, Bennett. She's a little rusty.
How about the Valkyries?
Year
1 in the playoff mix?
I'm always scared to even try to say Valkyries. I never know exactly. Like that's a word that
Valkyries?
I mean, I can say it, but like when I just look at it, it don't look like all those letters are in the right places.
I got you.
It's a weird thing to name your franchise.
I like it. It's unique.
It's a word and it's got a bunch of letters and it don't look like they're in the right places, but I trust that they are. Congrats to the Valkyries. I don't mean to take away from their achievement, but the story, as is always the story, was Caitlin Clark returning and not performing at the highest levels. We'll see how she does next time out. Meantime, this happens just a few hours after more WNBA controversy. Did you see the latest WNBA controversy?
What's going on?
Oh, man. It's another one. 2K26, the famous basketball game. They will have a WNBA edition. You can buy the special WNBA edition. And they have a cover. It's a big deal in sports.
Yeah.
Who's the Madden cover? That's always a big deal. Like, that's going to go in 5 more things every time they announce it.
Yep.
Who's on the Madden cover? We just learned 2K26, the actual cover, like the standard edition.
Yes.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Makes sense.
Yeah, he's a champ.
He's an MVP. He's a scoring champ. He's an NBA champion. He is, in many ways, in some ways, in the conversation to be the face of the league. And that makes, like, the most understandable thing in the world to me is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is going to be on the cover of 2K26. So they got the WNBA edition. And guess who they're putting on the cover?
Who's going to be there?
It's not Caitlin Clark.
Oh.
It's not Asia Wilson. It's not Breanna Stewart. Angel Reese. Angel Reese is the cover of the WNBA edition of 2K.
Well, how about that?
How about that?
I frankly remember someone saying that she was just a character in the story. She's just a part of the story.
I still believe that.
It appears she is the story.
Okay, Bennett.
It appears she might be the story, GP.
What if Angel Reese is the story?
She might be. I saw her post yesterday, just a kid from Baltimore. Because not only is she on the cover of the new NBA 2K, WNBA 2K, she got the brand new Angel Reese 1 that dropped this. I think it dropped today, actually.
I think it dropped yesterday. And it was not selling well initially.
Get out of stop.
I don't bring that up.
It just dropped.
I don't bring
the shoe just dropped, for God's sakes. Let people be able to buy it.
Caitlin Clark's shoe just dropped last week, and it sold out in seconds.
I never seen that shoe. I don't even know what it looks like.
You know why? Because it's too hard to get.
I don't even know what it looks like.
I don't say what I said for any other reason, just to deliver. I'm just delivering information to you. Yes, Angel Reese now has a shoe. It is for sale, and you can go buy it right now, no problem whatsoever. You can't go buy Caitlin Clark's right now, no problem whatsoever, but you can buy Angel Reese's.
Okay, maybe I will.
Maybe I will too. Maybe I will too. All right? What do you make of this? Because this is one of those things.
It looks like the story to me. That looks like the story. Caitlin Clark was getting beat by a team that literally just started their franchise this year.
And they got a weird name. They're like, the letters don't even look like they're in the right places.
She got beat down by a Valkyrie last night, okay? By a bunch of Valkyries.
She got beat down by a group of Valkyries. There's no getting around. I can't argue that, Bennett.
And when that happens, you're not going to be the cover of NBA 2K. Sorry. Just kidding. I love Caitlin Clark.
I know you love Caitlin Clark.
I have to preface that because we'll get like bombarded.
I know you love Caitlin Clark. All right? We all love Caitlin Clark. Except for the other women in the WNBA. They all hate her. Okay? But the rest of us love her. We are living in a world where everybody loves Caitlin Clark except for the players in the WNBA. All right?
Yeah.
This is one of those deals where it's just like when I was talking earlier about LeBron, and there's a post of him at the Cavaliers facility, and then people are like, oh, woo. And he's like, what are y'all even wooing about? Relax. It's nothing. Same type of thing here. You know what's going to be the response when this happens.
Mm-hmm.
Like when it is not only somebody other than Caitlin Clark, that would be a story anyway. If anybody other than Caitlin Clark, you could go, we're taking the reigning MVP and we're making her the cover. And people would be like, well, I guess that's what they did with the men's side. It's the MVP. And so on the women's side, they took the MVP. And people would be like, okay, I guess we can't fight about it, but I still think it should be Caitlin Clark. That would still be a thing, all right? Because she's the face and the everything of everything. But that's not what they did. They didn't go with the MVP. They didn't go with a first-team All-WNBA person. They went with a second-year player who is a very good young player, but I say this only because it's a fact. She is the unique professional athlete in this country who is more famous than she is good. She's more famous than she is good. Let me be clear. It doesn't mean she's not good. She is very good. She's a very good young basketball player, but she is wildly more famous than she is good. And this is the latest example of that. And it is going to be, I've already predicted this. This will not, I'm not trying to tell you how Angel Reese's career is going to end or how her life is going to go. I have no idea. This part I am certain of. She will have a moment, even more so than she's already had, where the piling on overwhelms her because she does get shit on all day on social media in a way that I actually think at this point is a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. But I don't know if it's gonna bother her, dude. I think she.
You'll see her cry on camera someday. I'm telling you.
I'm not so sure.
I'm telling you, you're gonna see her talking into a microphone, crying on camera.
For it. Now her team stinks, but it ain't her fault. She's balling, dude. She's been awesome lately. Remember at the beginning of the year when it was like, we talk about her so much and she sucks, dude. She has been killing it lately.
I have never said she sucks.
No, I didn't say you did. You said that she was a part of the story. She's the story. There's a story right there.
Well, here's the thing. This is why it's in some ways self-created by her. All the stuff, the negative stuff she's going to deal with, has dealt with, and will continue to deal with until it overwhelms her. It's in some ways self-inflicted because she did try to present herself as a co-star in this WNBA break through the ceiling thing. She had made a point into a microphone. This is not just about one person. This is about me too. She put her in there. Like, if you think everybody's just excited about the WNBA now because of one Caitlin Clark, that's crazy. I am a reason for this too. I'm paraphrasing, but that was the sentiment. And the truth is, she's just not. And there's a million ways to show you this. Ticket sales, television ratings, shoe sales. She is famous, but she's not Caitlin Clark. And she's not the reason the WNBA is in a different place right now. And she is not the reason that these arenas are filling up all over the country. She is a very good young player who is a supporting, if we're going to do the television show movie analogy, if we're doing a movie on what is happening in the WNBA right now, the lead character is Caitlin Clark, and Angel Reese is a supporting character in that story. But she's not a co-star. And that is the main thing she's run into. She tried to present herself as a co-star, and when you do that, we've talked about all of this before, people are very eager to tell you, no, you're not. We don't just yell, no, you're not, to everybody. I've equated this to Bronny James before. We don't spend a lot of time talking about college freshmen who aren't obviously one-and-done prospects, talking about how they don't belong in the NBA and they stink and blah, 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 blah. You know the only reason we, for more than a year, had those conversations about Bronny James? And not just you and I, but I mean like Stephen A. Smith on TV. The reason LeBron has to approach Stephen A. Smith courtside or feels compelled to say, stop talking about my family. Do you know why all that happened? Because LeBron tried to tell the whole world, my son's great. My son's better than people who are in the NBA right now. My son could play for the Lakers right now while he was in high school, right? And we're all looking at it like, what? The recruiting rankings don't suggest that. The draft boards don't suggest that. Our eyeballs don't indicate that. What are you talking about? So then everybody starts standing up, and the whole thing because Bronny James sucks. Well, how did that happen? Nobody just woke up wanting to yell about how LeBron James' oldest son isn't very good at basketball. The only reason anybody did is because LeBron tried to tell us he was. You try to tell us you are, well, then we're going to tell you you're not. And this is the same thing with the Angel Reese thing. She tried to present herself as a co-star, and then people were eager to say, no, you're not. And now it's gotten mean. And this, I don't think, will help. Do you realize we got to a point where I have random friends who don't care a thing about any of this. And they'll send me did you see this? And it's like Angel Reese, losing her dribble, turnover, layup the other way. That's weird. I could go years, not too long ago, without anybody sending me anything connected to the WNBA. I could go weeks, even in the WNBA season, without seeing a single WNBA highlight. Now you realize every time Angel Reese turns the ball over, I see it. Every time Angel Reese misses a layup, I see it. People are jumping on every negative thing that happens with her. And it's now gotten to a point where I am uncomfortable with it. I'm not interested in making fun of Angel Reese every time she turns the ball over, because I don't think it comes from a honest place. We've now reached a place as a society where people are eager to pile on her. And this will just be the next example of that. Do the search on this. I don't even know, but I promise you it's out there somewhere. So they're putting somebody on the cover of 2K26 who can't even dribble? All that stuff's out there somewhere. And she has reached this place where she is more famous than she is great at her profession. And she's going to have I would assume, long career and make a ton of money because she has a real social media following. She is a famous person. She's a celebrity in this country, undeniably. But it's going to get hard for her because that piling on, plus her team loses all the time, it's just going to get hard for her. People are going to continue to beat on her until it overwhelms her. Strong as she might be, it's going to get to her because I think it would get to almost anybody. And this is the latest example. I don't even think they do her any favors by doing this to her.
I disagree.
I think it just invites more people to say, you're not Caitlin Clark.
Dude, she wanted to be on the cover.
I'm sure she wanted to be on the cover because young people want things all the time that aren't good for them. I don't know. None of this is a big deal.
I got it.
I'm just saying, I don't think they did her a favor. I know she wanted it, and I know it's an honor, and I'm certain she's proud, and that'll hang in her home someday. But it just brings on more of everything that we're talking about.
I think she's built for it.
The only reason... okay, you ready for this? I'll put it this way. I'll put it in these terms. Can you imagine a player the level of Angel Reese? Forget celebrity, forget everything. Forget how many Instagram followers she has. Can you imagine a second-year basketball player the level of Angel Reese actually being on the cover of 2K?
I'll have to go back and look at the covers. No. I had to go back and look at the covers.
Can you imagine a NFL player in his second year?
Yes. We put Peyton Hillis on the cover of Madden, for God's sake.
Maybe Peyton Hillis. But wasn't Peyton Hillis like
he did have a crazy year, and then they put him on Madden, and we never heard from him again.
Yeah. Okay. But I'm not going to let you disparage Peyton Hillis like that. Let's see what Peyton Hillis did. I bet you by the time he showed up on the Madden cover,
he had a great year. That's why he got on there.
He had done more on the field than Angel Reese has done on the court. This is just unusual. They are playing off of her celebrity, and I get that. I understand it. I'm just saying the quality of basketball player, that this would not, I don't believe this would happen in the NBA. That they would put a second-year player who hasn't really, from a bad team, who hasn't done much, and isn't even close to the best second-year player in the WNBA. Not even close, because she's not. You can lie to each other if you want to, but she's not. This is unusual. You can at least acknowledge that. She is on that because she's on that cover because she's famous, not because anything that's happened on a basketball court. Certainly, you can acknowledge that. If you can't, you're just being a hater.
But she's having a good year.
She's grabbing rebounds, scoring points. Bad team.
It is a bad team.
Yeah.
It is a bad team.
Yeah.
I mean, Peyton Hill's played for the Browns.
I get it.
They're always bad.
I get all that.
I know.
I get it. She is on this cover for reasons that most people don't get put on covers of sports video games. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And it will be the latest bit of ammunition people use to beat on her on social media when they want to beat on her.
Well, F them.
This is what you'll see the next time she misses a layup or turns the ball over, throws it away. This is who you put on the cover? This is what you'll see all of that.
You will. You're right.
It won't be for me. I'll talk about this stuff because it's interesting to talk about, at least from my perspective, but I'm not adding to it on social media. You won't see that from me on Twitter or anywhere else, but you'll see it from everybody else. You'll see it from a lot of people, and that's hard. You ready for this? You should be able to be a second-year WNBA player who's just like, not even one of the 5, 10, 15 best players in the league and struggles sometimes without the whole world noticing it. I don't ever even see when Paige Becker struggles, I don't ever really see when Asia Wilson struggles. People aren't eager to jump on them the way they are her. And I think all the reasons people are eager is because of the way all of this has unfolded. And this will add to it. That's what I'm saying. Is it the biggest deal in the world? No, but it'll add to it. It will make her social media more difficult than it was because people will line up to tell her she doesn't deserve this, even if she got it.
Number 3.
All right. Now to more important stuff.
Okay.
Casey Anthony has been spotted in New Hampshire with a mystery man, according to TMZ. Now, for people who might not remember Casey Anthony, congratulations. But she was a young woman who was accused and then charged with killing her daughter, murdering her daughter.
Mm.
She was charged with first-degree murder.
Yes.
And I'm hesitant to even say, because you weirdos can't acknowledge that the only plausible thing that happened with Karen Reed is that she accidentally backed over to just ran into this guy and killed him. I'm fighting with y'all about that. So I'm hesitant to even say this. But all of the evidence suggested that Casey Anthony did murder this little girl. There is no plausible scenario that anybody else did it. There is no real evidence that anybody else did it. All the OJ evidence points to OJ. All the Karen Reed evidence, for the most part, flawed investigation. I understand the verdict, but the actual evidence, how did this guy die in a front yard? There's no evidence to support anything other than she was hit by a car. He was hit by a car, accidentally, I assume. And in the Casey Anthony thing, all of the evidence points to she killed that little girl. But she was acquitted. Great lawyers. And now she's just walking around and living life.
Mm-hmm.
And now she's on a date, reportedly.
Yeah,
with a mystery man in New Hampshire.
Video, yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Here's the question. Could you, if you were a single man, even entertain the idea of dating someone who, even if they were acquitted, was credibly charged with murdering a little girl? Could you bring yourself to that?
I don't think so. I do not think so.
What if she was the most attractive person in the world to you? This is what, you look at Casey Anthony and you go, oh my God, that's my dream woman.
Mm.
And then you sit down with her. You've been, however people talk on the internet now.
Yeah.
You've been doing that with her, and it's man, she's funny and she's interesting, and I'm attracted to her, and she's compelling. I'm having fun interacting with her. Even if all of that applied, would you reach a point where you go, but man, I think she killed that little girl, and I can't get involved in this?
I think I could not get involved.
I think I couldn't get involved in it. Just too hard to explain.
We'd have to do a lie detector or something.
No, I don't even think, it wouldn't even be, here's the thing. I'd never be able to get past, I think you killed that little girl. All right? I don't think I don't think anything else happened other than you killed that little girl. That's what I think. I don't care if you can pass a lie detector test. I don't care what a jury said. I think you killed that little girl. And I'd never be able to get past that. And then it's just like, how you even talk about it to your friends? Hey, I'm bringing Casey over for the cookout. The woman.
Make sure to not bring up the thing.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. Don't bring up the dead little girl. I'm bringing Casey over for the cookout. Hey, it's July 4th. I'm gonna pick up a couple bags of ice and some potato salad, and me and Casey will be there around noon. What? You're not bringing Casey Anthony to my house?
Yeah, I don't think I could get. I don't.
I think I just have to say I can't do it. I like you.
Do you think that they
you look nice?
Do you think that they discussed it prior to the date or on the date?
How do you bring it? Oh, that's an interesting question. How do you even bring it up?
Because I don't think I could just not talk about it.
But how do you bring it up? Like, all right, hey, let's cut to the chase. All right.
What really happened?
What really happened? And do you think if she really trusted, like, what if her relationship went to a great place and Casey Anthony found true love? Do you think she would ever, if it's true, acknowledge to her partner?
No.
You just stick to that lie forever. You just lie forever. It's a forever lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a forever.
I don't think she would. I don't think.
I think it's a forever lie. You just lie forever. And it doesn't matter if anybody believes you. As long as those jurors believed you, that's all you needed. And maybe people like me will look at you forever from this perspective, but you just lie forever. You just lie forever. I guess that's what you do.
Yeah.
Other people do it. OJ lied forever. He got close one time to being like, I'm going to write a book and whatever, but to the day he died, he just said, no, I didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
We all know you did. But he just kept saying, no, I didn't. And there was some thought that on his deathbed he confessed, and there's like, no, he didn't. He just died. He never said anything about anything. He just lied to the day he died. Perhaps that's the most comforting thing you can do.
Yeah.
Start lying to yourself. Do you think you start to believe your own lies?
Yes.
I think you can.
I do. Yes.
I think you can.
Or, I mean, not.
It'd be hard to kill somebody, I think, and then convince yourself that you didn't. But I bet you convince yourself of something. I bet you it all gets blurry. I bet you don't. I bet it's blurry. I bet you've told so many lies so many times that you don't even actually remember what the truth is.
Right.
You ever known anybody like that? Or you ever been in that yourself? They commit to a lie, and it's like, man, I know that what this person's saying isn't true, but they've said it so many times. I bet they believe it's true. I bet they believe this because they sound sincere. Like, I'm listening to you tell this story. And I know it's not true because I lived through it with you.
Mm-hmm.
I lived through this story with you. And the version you're telling me right now is just not what happened. But I think you believe it. You seem like you believe it. You know people like that?
Yeah. Now, I want to be careful.
Yeah. You don't no need to be careful. Not on a Thursday. Not on the launch of Las Vegas Summer League. This is the least day to be careful.
Like you say, she killed that girl.
Yeah. I thought I believe.
I don't know what I believe. I believe there was definitely a cover up, obviously. Yeah.
I mean, if you don't remember all the details, like the little girl's missing for a long time. Never reported.
Yes,
never
right,
reported.
Right. No. She I believe she knows what happened to her daughter.
They found evidence of a decomposed body in the trunk of her car.
Right. Like I think I think that there was a cover up. Like I think something happened and there was a cover up. Do I think she just murdered her daughter? I'm not sure about that, but I think that her daughter died and there was a cover up.
I would just circle back to what I always say. There was no plausible explanation that anybody other than her did it. I mean, we can make up stories like, well, what if the dad did it or the grandfather? And it's like, okay, but what are you basing that on? Well, I don't know. Got to base something on something. It's just like the Karen Reed thing. They're like, well, what if he just walked in the house and then got beat to death and then they tossed him out on the yard? Okay, do you have any evidence whatsoever to support that? No, not really. Just throwing it out there. Okay. But do you have any evidence to support he might have got hit by a car? Oh, yeah, we do have evidence to support that. But, could have also just walked in this house and got beat up by these cops and thrown out in the yard. Well, I guess if we're just going to do that, I guess he could have walked 3 houses down and got shot by somebody and then thrown in the yard. I guess we're just making up stuff with no evidence. We make up anything. There's no plausible explanation for anything other than Casey Anthony killed this little girl. I wouldn't date her, Bennett. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I would not either.
I wouldn't date her.
Let me be on record.
Let's find something we can agree on.
Yes.
All right?
I could not.
I wouldn't date her.
No.
I don't even think I'd had coffee with her.
I might do coffee.
Yeah. Just to like pick her brain a little bit, see where it could go.
Yeah, right.
I might like to ask her questions.
Sure.
You know,
anything past that, I'll probably.
And then if she was hesitant to answer my questions, and that's just.
It's time to move on.
It's time to move on. And if she answered my questions, it's still time to move on. But like, at least I'm getting a conversation out of it. You know, I could put that in 5 more things the next day.
Yes.
So I sat down with story number 2. So I sat down with Casey Anthony yesterday, had coffee. That's a good story. I don't know where it goes, but that'd be a good place to start a story. You tune in for story number 2 if it was about me sitting down with coffee with Casey Anthony. So I would have coffee with her, but that's as far as it would go. I don't think I could find myself in a relationship with Casey Anthony. But in fairness, I don't think she'd want to be in a relationship with me either.
Same. Yeah.
So maybe we're both getting exactly what we want.
Yeah.
Number 4.
Big 12 Media Day is unfolding down in Frisco, Texas. You know Frisco, Texas.
I'm not too familiar with
that's
Frisco.
where the Tigers always go to play in the AAC tournament in front of nobody.
I thought that was Fort Worth.
Nah, I think it's Frisco.
Is it Frisco?
I think so. I think the Tigers have been in Frisco. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I think the Tigers have been in Frisco. Well, Big 12 Media Day. No, it's not. It's wherever it is. I think it's at the Cowboys practice facility or some Cowboys facility.
Where the AAC thing we do at Dickies, right?
Yeah, I think Dickies Arena. I think I'm partly right about all of this. I think the Tigers have been to Frisco, and I think
Dickies Arena's in Fort Worth.
Well, then what is going on in Frisco?
I don't know.
Did they play a bowl game in Frisco?
There's a Frisco Bowl.
Okay, I knew have the Tigers been to the Frisco Bowl?
I'm almost positive we've been to the Frisco Bowl.
Man,
Let me find some history on it.
That sounds like someplace we'd go.
Frisco Bowl, Memphis. Yeah, we played West Virginia there. That's right.
I remember. I knew the Frisco Bowl.
Beat the crap out of them. Well, it was a close game, but
I knew there was a Memphis-Frisco connection. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Big 12 Media Days there. Deion Sanders, coach at Colorado. He met with the media yesterday. Weird thing. Do you see this? So, Deion sort of reached the point where every press conference is, you literally, if you run CBSSports.com, you tell somebody it's your job today to listen to everything Deion says
and get a story.
And just pull the most interesting stuff out of it. Here's what Deion Sanders said at Big 12 Media Day. Like, that's somebody's job. So he starts talking yesterday, and he's being Deion Sanders. And which, by the way, he's great. That's what I'm trying to say. He's great at these things typically. Like, when he's just talking, he knows how to talk. He's a great talker. But then at some point, a reporter from The Athletic asked the question about him being away from Boulder most of this offseason, because reportedly, since April, he has, for the most part, been living in Texas, recovering or dealing with an undisclosed health issue. And so it seems like a totally reasonable question to ask. Coach Prime from The Athletic, we know you've been away from the team, like out of the state, nowhere near Colorado's campus, for the most part, for months. Can you explain to us why? Something along those lines. And he took issue with the question and said, "Oh, you're from The Athletic. You're always messing in that bull junk," which I like the term bull junk. I'll just say that.
Bull junk's good.
I like the term bull junk. But he says, "You're just always operating in that bull junk. But I'm here to talk about my team, not about my health." Now, I get on some level not want to talk about your health. Like, that's none of our business. Like, there are actually laws preventing doctors from talking about your health, right? So I think everybody could respect that. Hey, obviously, you guys know I've been dealing with some health issues. I'm not really comfortable talking about it publicly, but just know that I'm doing well, and I look forward to being back in Boulder, and I think it's going to be very, very soon. Instead, he takes issue with the question. But isn't it a reasonable question? You make more than $10 million a year to run Colorado's Big 12 football program, and you ain't been anywhere near the campus for the most part for months. Even Deion, when he's talking about this, you know what he said? "I'm looking forward to getting to campus and meeting some of our players." Bro, it's July 10th. College football starts next month.
Right.
He's got players he hasn't met. He's got players he literally hasn't met. That's what he said.
Yeah.
That's not normal. What if Penny Hardaway were living in Florida since April?
Right.
You don't think we'd be asking questions about that?
We definitely would.
What if Ryan Silverfield were living in Florida?
Yes. We would be asking questions.
Hey, Ryan Silverfield, you still got to name a quarterback. You're replacing basically all your starters. Season starts very soon. Why are you in Florida the entire offseason? It's a totally reasonable question.
I think it's reasonable.
I don't like it when people get offended by totally reasonable questions. Just answer the question or talk around it. But to get offended by it seems weird to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would even be fine to just say, well, look, I don't want to talk about my health, but I've been going through some stuff, and I look forward to being.
This is all you say.
To being back.
This is all you say. I appreciate the question. I understand my off season has been unusual relative to other coaches' off seasons. Like I don't think there's any other Big 12 coach here today who has been away from campus as much as I've been away from campus. But I have been dealing with health issues, and that's the cause of it. But I don't want to expand on it much more than that. Out of respect for my family and just this is a private matter. But I can tell you I'm doing better. I feel good. And I'm looking forward to getting back to campus, and we're going to do that in the next week or two. And I can't wait for the season. Boom. We're done. We're done. But instead you act offended by the question, and then that becomes the headline. And then it's like Deion Sanders popped off at a reporter is the takeaway from Big 12 Media Day yesterday. Just to bet, Deion Sanders didn't need my advice, but I don't like it when I see athletes, entertainers, coaches, anybody, presidents. I don't like it when I see anybody get offended by what is a totally reasonable question. You saw this the other day in the White House. Like somebody asked about the Epstein list and the Epstein stuff. And President Trump was like, you're still talking about this? Well, bro, you talked about it up until it didn't serve you anymore. Everybody in your cabinet talked about it up until it didn't serve them anymore. And now you're acting like it's crazy for somebody to ask about it. It's the most obvious thing to ask about in this, or not, maybe not the most, maybe there's a million things. The world's crazy right now. But like, it's a reasonable question. You have consistently banged on this Epstein stuff, consistently suggested all sorts of things. People who work for you have consistently said all these things, and now, like, you think it's crazy that somebody's asking about it? Like, he took real offense to somebody asking that question in the White House the other day. That's crazy. And, like, that's not even a political statement. Like, if Barack Obama was asked a totally reasonable question and he acted like it was an unreasonable question and scorned or shamed the reporter very publicly, I would think that's BS. And I thought what Deion did yesterday to the reporter from The Athletic was also BS. You don't have to answer the question directly. It is a private matter on some level. But, bro, you're the highest paid employee on your campus. You make more than $10 million to run a football program. You're one of the faces of college football, and you haven't been on campus much lately for months. Why? Can you help us understand it? Those are totally reasonable questions. He should have handled that better.
Yeah, I think so, too.
Number 5.
Ben McLemore, former NBA player, former Kansas Jayhawk, a man who appeared in 56 games for your Memphis Grizzlies once upon a time, was sentenced yesterday to 100 months in prison after being convicted of rape. Bennett, you sent me the story this morning. Your thoughts?
Man, it's you don't see stuff like this that often. A lot of times when you see stuff like this, typically you see guys get acquitted for stuff like you never see people you never see celebrities rarely get. And
Mike Tyson?
He's the one, right?
He's the most famous
that went to prison, right?
Sure.
For rape. That's just why it stood out to me so much. I was just like, man, this is like, you never see this. Obviously, he played for the Grizzlies once upon a time, so felt like it was relevant.
So it's I guess how these things happen. He's at a party at a teammate's house at the time. I think this is when they were playing for the Blazers. And as the story goes, this was the testimony at least. It's a party, people crash there, and at some point the next morning, I imagine early in the morning, one of those things where people pass out and then start to wake up and, you're a little hazy, but you're on a couch with somebody or in a bed with somebody, and one thing leads to another. And that's what this was. To people who acknowledged they had been drinking, and Ben McLemore testified, I thought I was having consensual sex. And the young woman stated, no, you weren't. I was too intoxicated to consent. And she went and reported it, and then he was charged, and then he was convicted. A lot of these things, like the report never leads to a charge, or the charge never leads to a conviction.
He said, she said, right?
I'm not a prosecutor. But I believe what most prosecutors will tell you is that this is the hardest type of crime to prove. Because, like, a murder, you got a body.
Right.
This is often, it is he said, she said. And I really do believe this sometimes too. Often there is real confusion between the two people involved. Like, I'm not rationalizing anything. I'm just saying it is not lost on me that I promise you this is true. There is somebody in this world, perhaps somebody even listening right now, who has been accused of sexual assault, and they're like, "What? What? I thought what? I thought it was a consensual engagement. What? That happens." And so these don't always lead to where this one led. But
he's going to prison.
He's going to prison.
Yeah.
And then he released a statement yesterday, and I didn't know what to make of this.
I didn't see it.
Okay. Because initially he said he was shocked and disappointed at the conviction and at the sentence. All right. Then he released a statement, and here's what the statement said. "I strive to live with kindness, to be gentle and show up for my people. I care deeply about those around me, and even in this dark moment, I believe in the power of grace and redemption. I believe in second chances and will work every day to earn mine." Well, if I were shocked and disappointed and insistent that I didn't do this, that's not the kind of statement I would release. That's like, I believe in second chances. I look forward to mine and redemption. It's not an admission of guilt, but it's like, I don't know. My statement would say, I didn't do this,
and I, will appeal. And
I didn't do this.
Right.
I've been falsely accused. This is crazy. Like, I'll go down swinging. And so maybe this is just me projecting, but like, that's not the statement I would release. If I didn't believe I was in the wrong, maybe with the benefit of hindsight, he recognizes, like, okay, in the moment I thought I was okay, but looking back, maybe I was wrong. I don't know. I can't get into his head. The statement just struck me as when you plead not guilty and then you insist you didn't do this, to release a statement talking about redemption and grace and second chances. It didn't.
Yeah.
I'd be screaming.
That's sad, man. He was a lottery pick.
Oh yeah. Whole life in front of him.
I can remember sitting at media day when the Grizzlies signed him, and because it was when Fizdale was the coach, and he was like, "This guy's a blank canvas," and it never.
Yeah,
it did not work.
Another
out.
example of a person who had the whole world right in front of him. Like, hey, you've worked hard to put yourself in a position to make a lot of money and have an incredible career playing a game that all of us wish we could play for a living, and buddy, for a variety of reasons, it got flushed right down the toilet, and now not only will you not have that, you won't even have your freedom, right?
Right.
That is a sad story. Let me be clear. The sadder story is that a young woman was sexually assaulted here. Let's not get away from that, right? But like, two lives just wrecked in different ways. I don't know what to make of it other than that.
Yeah.
But yeah. Just think about that contrast in these moments in your life. And I guess everybody has moments like these, but or not everybody, but like,
one day you're walking across the stage and shaking.
That's what I mean. That's exactly what I mean.
Hands.
One day you're playing in Allen Fieldhouse. You're an All-American. The next day you're shaking Adam Silver's hand as a lottery pick, and now you're going to jail.
Yeah.
Prison for 100 months. 100 months. That's the sentence, at least, for rape. I don't know what else to say.
I don't either.
All right, let's do GP's carryout. We'll do it when we get back.
All right, reflection time. 42 and 21 entering your sixth season. Of the 42, which one do you think about the most?
Probably was the Liberty Bowl win versus Iowa State.
Iowa State.
That was a big one.
To win in that fashion, I think it was the biggest underdog game we had all season.
Yeah.
10-point underdog, whatever the heck it was. And they go out there and feel like we actually single-handedly won the game. No fluke plays, just went out there and took care of business.
The better team.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Creed. By overwhelming demand, the Summer of '99 tour returns. July 27th, FedEx Forum. With very special guest, Daughtry. And Mammoth. Tickets on sale now at LiveNation.com. Don't miss Creed with Daughtry and Mammoth. The Summer of '99 tour.
1, 2, 3. Ready, go.
Have you talked to Norvell since the game?
Yeah, but we're close friends, so it's not one of those. Like, I think it's a little bit.
How long before you said, ha, 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 ha?
Hey, you sent him a text and said, you want the box score? You sent him the box score.
You want to see the picture of me in the locker room afterwards?
How close are you? Because it would have taken me literally 30 seconds.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Shinedown. Dance Kid Dance Tour. Live in Memphis. FedEx Forum, Saturday, August 30th. With special guests, Bush and Morgan Wade. Get tickets now at livenation.com. Shinedown, live in concert. For more, visit shinedown.com.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish Show, presented by Ortho South. Let's wrap this up with GP's Carryout.
It's time for GP's Carryout. One final segment filled with stuff to take with you. It's not everything you need to know, but it's most of it. What did we learn today?
A whole bunch of stuff, but we mostly focused on NBA Summer League because it gets underway in Las Vegas today. 14 teams playing. That obviously means 7 games. The Grizzlies will not be in one of those games today, but they will play 3 o'clock tomorrow, Central Time, against the Boston Celtics. We'll have pregame right here, Grind City Media app, 2:45. The big story tonight will be the debut of Cooper Flagg in a Mavericks uniform. His opponent will be the Los Angeles Lakers, including Bronny James. So building will be sold out. Thomas and Mack. Average ticket price is in excess of $200. Get in price as of this morning, $85. Courtside seats going for $3,000. What do we expect? Like we didn't talk basketball at all. Do you expect by the time SportsCenter starts right off of Mavericks and Lakers, we're going, oh wow, did you see what Cooper Flagg did to the Lakers out in Las Vegas? Or just like it was a nice debut, whatever.
No, I think he will have a huge game. Bronny wasn't good, and when they did they did like they did the California Summer League. He didn't have a good.
He's not good. I don't know what else to tell you. The reason he wasn't good is because he's not. Like, if you realize,
well, damn.
If I played in the California Summer League, if you watch me, you know what you'd say? Man, GP wasn't very good out in the California Summer League. And then I would say, well, I'm not very good. That's why. The reason I wasn't very good in the California Summer League is because I'm not very good. Like, you could put me in the Mississippi Summer League. I just wouldn't be very good. Yeah. You could put me in, the Alabama any Summer League you want to, and you would go, man, GP didn't look that good. And the explanation for why would be because he's not that good.
We'll see tonight. We'll see tonight.
We'll see tonight.
It's a different stage, man.
It's a different stage.
The California Summer League, we're not taking it seriously. It doesn't mean
it would be funny, and I mean hilarious. Like the funniest thing that could happen tonight is like Bronny goes for 35
and Cooper Flagg goes for 8.
Just like Bronny goes for 35 and the Lakers beat the Mavericks and Cooper Flagg is like 2 of 11 from the field. That would be the funniest thing. In fact, that's what I'm rooting for. I'd like to laugh tonight. Who wouldn't like to laugh on a Thursday night? Mm-hmm. Bronny James balling out on ESPN against Cooper Flagg would be the funniest thing we could see.
Let's go.
I'll
be watching.
I'm going to turn it on too.
Yeah.
All right.
What's today's biggest game?
I'll bid it. What do you want to do? You want to pick Summer League?
Yeah, so we were voided yesterday.
Yeah, we got doubleheader today. I don't like these daytime doubleheaders.
Bottom of the third right now.
I don't like
0-0.
I don't like daytime doubleheaders. Mm-hmm. I like to be home at night and turn on a Mets game. And all this stuff's going to be over.
I don't like doubleheaders either. I agree.
I don't mind doubleheaders, but man, I like to have things to do at night.
Yeah.
Doubleheaders in the middle of the day don't do me any good. Not at this point in my life. Lakers and Mavericks, 7 o'clock. It's on ESPN. It's out in Thomas and Mack Center. Lakers -3.5. The total's 177.5. How you going to act?
This Summer League is tough. Summer League.
Cooper Flagg's an underdog. That's
And Dallas hasn't
disrespectful.
played. Dallas, I haven't seen the Summer Mavs yet. They didn't play anywhere.
No.
So this will be their first experience.
That's right.
I'm gonna say that Cooper Flag. Well, I'll take the Lakers. I'll take the Lakers.
We want Bronny to ball out tonight. That would be the funniest
They
thing.
got Dalton Connect. Like, I feel like their squad might be better than the Mavs. Cooper Flag, he's not going to play the whole game. Right? Like, they don't.
Well, I think it's safe to assume Cooper Flag will not play every minute of the game. Yes, I think that's.
Yeah, but they'll pull him.
I don't know that. I can't.
I say limited fourth quarter minutes for Cooper Flag. Lakers, easy win.
Okay, that's what Bennett said.
Yeah.
All right. Bennett's laying 3.5 point with Bronny James and the Lakers.
What are we watching on TV?
All right, I got to apologize. Can I apologize? Not to you.
What's going on?
I need to apologize to Owen Wilson.
About his golf show?
Yeah. I brought it up the other day because we started watching it this past weekend. We got all caught up. And I was like, Bennett, if you were to ask me about it, I would tell you it's good enough to watch, but not.
You downplayed it.
It's just
You're
good
like,
enough to
this
watch.
sucks. Yeah.
It's just good enough to watch. And I still lean mostly that way, but like they dropped a new episode yesterday. I think there's one more left in the season, maybe. And it was like good. It was like it had a little twist in it. And
yeah.
At Rotten Tomatoes, it is now Stick. It's called Stick.
Okay.
It's Owen Wilson's new show on Apple TV Plus. It's 81% tomato meter. Critics seem to like it.
Okay.
All right.
81 ain't bad.
It's unrealistic, but like it's also a television show, so who cares?
Yeah.
All right. It's unrealistic, and it's kind of goofy in spots, like just little stuff that I notice. I'm like, well, that would never happen. There's a point in every episode where I go, that thing that just happened would never actually happen.
Yeah.
All right. So there's a lot of that, but it's a television show. Whatever. What do you want me to do?
Yeah.
All right. But it's fun. I don't get bored watching it. Maybe that's the best compliment I could give it. It's not just good enough to watch. It's that I don't watch it and be like, God, I hate this. It's a perfectly easy thing to watch, and it's turned into a family show. So we got the kids locked in on it.
Okay, good.
Like we all sat together last night and watched the new episode
That's
of
nice.
Stick. It really is nice to have things that you can watch with your entire family.
We don't have enough of that.
I don't think we have enough.
We don't
of
have
that.
enough family-friendly programming out there.
Now, I should be clear. I'm not even sure this is family-friendly programming. People are banging.
Oh, there's banging in it?
Yeah, people bang.
Okay.
I mean, you don't see it, but you know what's happening. You see the lead up.
I got you.
And then they change scenes, but you know where it's going. I've seen enough. I know where these things tend to go. Ben.
Yeah.
I've been around a minute. All right. I know when you see two characters start to kiss and lay down. I know where it's going. I know what happens next. Okay. I've been around a minute. So there's all that kind of stuff, and then there's throwing around F words too. So I don't actually know if it's great for the whole family, but it's perfectly fine for my family.
Okay.
We're comfortable. My family's comfortable with a few F words and an occasional sex scene.
Speaking of Apple, I finally started the studio. We got caught up on the Valley, and so now I'm on to the studio, which I've been putting off for a long time.
You're going to love it.
The first episode is so good.
So good.
It's so good. Like, I can't believe they got Scorsese to do all that, first of all.
And it's littered with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like every episode, there's like, how'd they get this person in it? And do you know the actual answer to it?
Huh.
Most things, or at least lots of things that you watch, are not filmed in Hollywood. It's all called Hollywood, but like they'll film it in Louisiana,
sure,
or Canada, or wherever. The studio, they did it in LA. They did the whole thing in LA, and in part because the people involved just didn't want to leave home. It was like and that allowed them to just like, everybody lives in LA. So you can just call. You'll see Charlize Theron at some point.
Yeah.
You can just call and like, hey, can we send a car? Come on down. Like nobody has to get on a plane and spend 3 weeks anywhere
so
to
you
appear
get,
in an
like,
episode.
all these stars.
It's just like, she lives 30 minutes away. Send her a car. She'll be here. We'll knock out the scene. Send her back. You knock all this stuff out in one day. So there's tons of cameos throughout the entire season. You'll love it. You're going to love it.
I'm excited. I'm in.
I think the episode I enjoyed.
My favorite character so far is Katherine Hahn. She is hilarious.
She's great. She's great. What episode are you on?
The first one's the only one that I've watched.
Okay.
That was the Scorsese, the Kool-Aid.
There's the one-shot episode that I think's coming up. I think it might be episode 2. But there was one episode where the whole show, it's interesting because they're talking about their appreciation for one shots, and then you realize at some point as you're watching, oh wow, this entire thing is
Yeah.
so it's like an inside little thing.
That's cool.
And then there's another episode, I think it was called Casting, where they're trying to hit all the different dynamics you need to hit when casting a movie. Like we need somebody who looks like this and somebody who looks like that and somebody who comes from here, and so that's hilarious. Sort of like they're laughing at themselves because they know this is how Hollywood works, and they're sort of making a joke about it. There's a lot of that stuff in there. You're gonna like the Studio. If I had to rank television shows, I would say the Studio over Stick, but Stick is worth watching.
Okay.
And I don't feel like I made that clear earlier in the week. I wanted to apologize to Owen Wilson, so I hope he accepts my apology.
What's the best thing we've read?
Well, over at CBSSports.com right now, they've got a nice piece from Sam Quinn about the Suns' decision to offer Devin Booker a 2-year, $145 million contract extension. Devin Booker will now make more money playing basketball, or at least he has a contract that indicates he will make more money in a single season playing basketball than anybody else has ever done. His contract represents that right now in excess of $70 million for a season. So Sam Quinn wrote about that. Sam Quinn, but I know you don't see him on TV every day like you see Brian Windhorst or Zach Lowe or whatever, but like if you're looking for really smart NBA columnists, people who I read Sam Quinn because I know when I dive into this column, he's going to tell me something I didn't know, tell me something I might be able to use. He's just a smart guy who covers the NBA, and I read everything he writes. This is about an 8-minute read. It's on the homepage, CBSSports.com right now. The headline, Why Devin Booker's 2-year, $145 million extension is a desperate overpay from a rudderless Suns franchise. You can find that right now, Sam Quinn, homepage, CBSSports.com.
What's on tap for tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow will be Friday. Oh, we're going to be getting ready for Grizz Summer League.
Yes, we are.
It's the Summer Grizz against the Summer Celtics. 3 o'clock tomorrow, Central Time, from Cox Pavilion out in Las Vegas. So we'll get you ready for that. And then we'll be here at 2:45 again, pregame show, halftime show, postgame show for Grizzlies Celtics that tips at 3 o'clock Central. So it's going to be a fun Friday. I'm looking forward to it already. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to enjoy mine. We will meet back here tomorrow at 10. Till then, be careful, be kind, be good. Rep your hood.